This is a used long-range Model 3, the cheapest I could find on Tesla's used warranty approved network. It's £17,400. This is essentially the same car from an independent dealer. It's over £3,000 cheaper. Now I understand why somebody would insist on going down the Tesla used approved route, like any other manufacturer. I like warranties myself. I've spoken to half a dozen people this month alone who have got a used Model 3 and insisted on going to get one from Tesla because they want that reassurance of the 1 year warranty that you get, 10,000 miles, from Tesla. And again, I do like a warranty, I like that reassurance. But this for me comes at too high a price. It's a lot better value to buy it from elsewhere due to the Tesla warranties that all the cars come with. So the perceived benefit, if you will, of the warranty that you get with a used Tesla, the 1 year warranty essentially, isn't quite what you probably think it is. It wasn't raining when I started, but I'm going to keep going anyway. Let's use this specific example from these two cars that I found. And there were lots of versions of the cheaper car from Auto Trader, from essentially independent dealers or even private purchasers. So let's say this car here is the one from Tesla. And this car here is, let's say, the worst case scenario. It's a private purchase. So there's no warranty from the seller, whereas this one comes with the 1 year, 10,000 mile warranty. £3,000, well, over £3,000 difference. What are we getting for that extra money? Well, what's the biggest thing that people worry about with the used electric car? The batteries. All long-range Tesla Model 3s come with a 120,000 mile, 8-year warranty on the battery. So they both come with the exact same warranty, which will supersede and even last longer than the used one that you're getting from Tesla. So there's no benefit there with the Tesla one. What's the second biggest thing that you would worry about with the used car? The drivetrain. Now, in what is semi-unique to Tesla, the drivetrain warranty is included in that 8 years. So it's not just the battery, it's the battery and the drivetrain. The motors are covered for 8 years, 120,000 miles on those long-range cars and the performance ones. So again, we've got the same warranty remaining on both the private purchase as well as the one from Tesla. But we've still paid over £3,000 more for this one. And even if I look to other different versions of Tesla's Model 3s, Model Ys, there's always like a £1,500, £2,000 extra from Tesla than there is from just someone else. So there's a fair percentage extra there. But again, the two biggest things are covered by Tesla anyway. So what else are we actually getting for our £3,000 more? Suspension components, I guess. Bit of a weak point on the Model 3, if I'm honest. In fact, this car needs some, I think its upper arms at the front need replacing. It's gone through its MOT, they're just worn, but they do need replacing, and it's costing me less than 300 quid in parts, maybe 100 quid to fit. Suspension components, brake components can be fixed, replaced, repaired by any garage. They're not EV specific in any way. So yeah, you might be unlucky and have some suspension components that need replacing with this car that Tesla would cover under their warranty. So even if you were really unlucky, like Harry with his long-range car, he needs twice the suspension components replacing after a health check on his, but again, you're still looking at about 700 or 800 quid. So you're still over £2,000 better off. Tyres, that's another one. Well, they won't be covered under warranty anyway, and you can see exactly what you're getting when you go and look at whichever car you're looking at. Although there is something that I will mention with tyres and Model 3s that I will probably look out for. This is a Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tyre, and this is what Tesla recommend that this comes with, and it's what it came with when it was new. Now you might notice a T and an O on the tyre. That's because this was co-developed with Tesla and Michelin for this car. It's essentially an acoustic version of the PS4 tyre. But if you're buying it from an approved Tesla scheme, I would expect it to come with the tyre that Tesla developed and recommend for this car to come with. If it doesn't, I would be asking questions. If you're buying it from an independent or a private purchaser, then make sure it comes with at least a premium tyre. I would expect Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, or maybe Cross Climates. They're popular as well, the Cross Climate 2s, or even your new 3s. However, if it comes with cheap tyres, I would add that onto the cost of the car. So if you're getting this and everything's brilliant and you've got cheap tyres, I'm still then spending 600-700 quid, whatever it costs, to put something decent on it. I suppose the main one would be the infotainment system, the computer that runs the autopilot and the infotainment system, all that sort of stuff. If that goes wrong, you're going to be going back to Tesla, almost certainly. There's very few specialists that will do that. So if that did go wrong, then maybe at that stage, you might be better off going with Tesla for their warranty. This car might be then a better option. Although you've still got 2 or 3 grand to play with and can probably get it fixed by Tesla within that anyway. But the reason I don't know how much it would cost to repair something like that or replace is because I don't know of a single person that's had to replace one. There's a few people with like ones that are a year or 2 old, factory defects if you will, that have had them replaced under warranty. But in terms of if you've got a 4, 5, 6-year-old Model 3 or even Model Y when they get to that age, and that's working fine, which you can check by just the fact it works, they're pretty much bomb-proof. So the risk is tiny. 99.9% of people who would buy a 5, 6-year-old one of these won't have to worry about the infotainment system, the computer, whatever you want to call it, the hardware, if you will. Of course, there'll be someone in the comment section now going, mine went wrong. But again, the risk is tiny for the fact that you're already blowing 3 grand just in case that happens, just in case the worst case scenario occurs. Cosmetically, again, that's not a warranty thing. If it's got damage from Tesla or anyone else that you buy it from, then you're accepting that when you buy it. So if you crash it, again, that's not a warranty concern. Interior damage, anything like that that's easily spotted when you go and look at a car, aren't a warranty concern. Now, let's say you're really risk averse and you just want to pay extra for that reassurance. You want to protect against that 0.1% of people that will be unlucky enough to not have it go your way if you bought this car instead of this car. There is still a better, cheaper way of doing it. It's all about warranty, isn't it? You can get aftermarket warranties. So I've had a look on the Warranty Wise, I think it is. No sponsors going on, by the way. I've had a look on a big warranty company's website that's well known, got a good reputation, and essentially to cover one of those long-range cars I showed you earlier for a full year with £100 excess, ticked every box. I think it was £67 a month, basically 800 quid a year for a full warranty. So yeah, you're going to have a bit of extra paperwork, a bit of extra faff if something did go wrong, but you could get 3, maybe even 4 years warranty for the price of just 1 year with Tesla. So even if you want that reassurance, there's still a much cheaper way of doing it. I can't really justify getting one, unless it's a real bargain, which it probably won't be, but you never know. I can't really justify getting a used approved Tesla Model 3 or even Model Y when they get a bit older from them, not because there's anything wrong with it. The car will be fine, I'm sure. You do have reassurance, and you know, you could just ring up and shout at somebody if something goes wrong. It's too much. It's too much. If I want to protect myself, I would go, right, I'm going to spend, let's say, £16,000 on a car from a private purchaser or an independent dealer, some of which do offer warranties, and then just set aside £1 or £2 if I really want, just in case something happens. I'm still substantially better off, and if nothing does break, then I'm quidsing. And it's not just unique with Tesla. A lot of manufacturers have this, where you always pay a premium for the used approved cars. I just think this, because of the Tesla warranty that comes with the drivetrain and the battery, it's not really worth the extra, is it? There is one thing that's worth mentioning, I guess, that could be more convenient, and that is finance. Going on Tesla's website and going tap, 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 click, 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 sign some papers, car arrives, or you go and pick it up. It is convenient. And if you want PCP on a used car, again, convenient again. And it might even suit you financially. So there are some aspects that might gravitate you towards it. But remember, you're paying £2,000 or £3,000 extra for that little bit of convenience. You can go to your bank. In fact, let me tell you a brief tale. When we bought a Mini Cooper S about 8-9 years ago, after our other car got stolen, it was a 1-year-old Cooper S, and Mini were going to charge 10% for the used loan, essentially, for the finance on that car. But don't worry, they were doing a special offer, so they could give me at 9%. Remember, this is 8 or 9 years ago. I then took those terms to my bank. It was a standard 5-year HP, it wasn't PCP, and 3%. 3% from bank, 9% from manufacturer. Yes, I had to go into a bank. Yes, I had to fill in some extra forms that I wouldn't have had to do at the dealership. I had to even spend a couple of hours of my time to save what turned out to be roughly £1,000 in interest payments. So even if we said a full day out of my life to get that benefit, it's £1,000. That's one hell of an hourly rate. So just because something's easy, it doesn't mean it's best. Just because something's easy and convenient, don't let, if I'm being blunt, some laziness creep in and end up costing you a lot of money. Wow, it stopped raining and the sun's come out. Brilliant. I can now get rid of the albatross stuff that's peppered this car just before I started filming. So thanks for watching. Hopefully that made sense. And do you agree with me? I do like things to come with warranties. I say this quite a lot, in fact, whether it's laptops, cars, or anything really that's an unknown, heat pumps, solar panels. But you've got to balance that out with how much it's costing. There's always a value there, and the value in this for me, because Tesla have kind of shot themselves in the foot with their standard warranty, it isn't there, is it? So let me know what you think, and with other manufacturers as well. Sometimes it is worth going to the dealer. Sometimes they've got 0% finance on, and sometimes you do get a good deal. But Tesla less so, because it's, well, that's the price you pay on the website. There's no haggling. Whereas the other cars I've shown you that are private or independent dealers, you might even get that a bit cheaper because you could haggle. So again, let me know if you've had this discussion or you've had this kind of thought train and what you've done. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Don't forget, members get videos usually on Sunday instead of Friday, and there's the Driving Home podcast, which has got its own channel, Driving OHM. It's in the link to pretty much every video I've ever done. It's in the description, rather, is the link to the Driving Home podcast, as well as in all the usual podcasty places. So thanks for watching. See you soon.